All right, let's go. I know y'all been waiting for this, so. Okay. Wait, hold on. Dang it. Sorry. Hold on. Hope you're all having a good day. All right. This is going to be, this is called deoxyribonucleic acid. And for those of you who are familiar, yeah, I am playing the Beat DNA by Kendrick Lamar, and you're about to find out why. Let's go. I know this is not a microphone, but in my imagination, it is. Yeah. I got DNA that's deoxyribonucleic acid. I'm a renegade with a pen that disintegrates you into ashes. My definitions are concise, like a Webster's dictionary. Don't need a fight, cause I already have 1,000 swords in my library. The way I cope is killing dopes, like the Springfield isotopes. Hitting home runs like Reyes from the Cleveland Indians. Oh my god, the PC police are busting down my door again. But I do not give a damn, because I'm unapologetic. If you find me apprehensive, go into the comment section saying I'm back at disco unoriginal. Call the hospital, I'm going mental, because everyone says I'm too disrespectful. Yes, I know that it's quite a mouthful. I've been the biggest heel in the business. If I just knew how to wrestle a manager like Corn I did with the Rock and Roll Express, hitting you in the face with big boots like I'm Andrew Martin Test. I am not one of the best, but I'm working to earn that rep. What are you doing, Ken? I hate this song. Will you please just change the station? I would rather play Tomb Raider on the very first PlayStation. Wait a minute, Chris. Keep it formal. Stop talking about huge pectorals. But oh my god, it's polygons make me spontaneously combust. Including Anna Kendrick. I want to hit it straight up, sticking. That's why I'm so freaking wicked. I love playing, just learning about repairing airplanes while I'm playing with toy trains. What has happened to my brain? It's excruciating, exacerbating. Hearing all this exaggeration about me being so egregious, you would think I'm controlled by demons. Maybe I'm one of Regis Narcisse who was in that room, coach Mr. Freak, and 20 years later put me on the doorstep. You could probably guess what happened next. I sliced up my father's neck, then I put a tape right in the deck. Mommy could see my twisting neck. Eventually had cardiac arrest as I listened tonight on the Bear Mountain as I bring out all the evil. I'm more anomalous than Knievel. Can't wait to show you all the sequel. Whew. Okay. So that went a little bit better than I thought. Hopefully, I hope the person that was watching this didn't just automatically leave because they thought that my rap was pretty whack. I mean, I said I'm not one of the best. I'm not. Trust me when I say, people say rappers nowadays are not very humble. I am very humble. Very humble. I am definitely someone who's not really. Man, I'm not the worst. Here's what I would say. I'm not the best rapper by any stretch of the imagination, unless you're referring to mumble rappers like Little Pump, Little Zane, all the littles. What's up, Steve? Like, I'm better than those guys. Like Eminem and Kendrick Lamar and Tupac and all those guys, absolutely not. And I respect those guys. But the mumble rappers, the ones that I don't respect, or even Chingy and Soulja Boy, oh yeah, then I will definitely be bragging about how I'm better than those guys. Because at least I put out more. Hey Steve, did you hold on? I guess I'll go ahead and. And you know what? Maybe I might even do an encore, and I'll try that again because I know I messed up some lines. but I can safely say that I'm definitely better than I'm better than the mumble rappers, which isn't saying a whole lot. All right, you know what? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to play another rap of mine that I also was working on, and we'll see where that goes. And then I will start list. Then I will go back to my Kendrick Lamar DNA rap remix, whatever you want to call it. All right.
Here's a word, and you're not gonna like this
stupid
word.
Ads.
Failure.
Even though I respect Danny Elfman. You know, as far as mistakes, so obviously I'll never forget them or even regret them, especially y'all because my bad. You think I'm soft, and the next night you're on line in the chalk. I'm coming for you because I want to chop your head right off. I'm covering the wounds. Somebody get the salt from the noose and stabbing my bruise because really I got nothing to lose. So if you're wondering why I'm online and screaming at you, because I met the promise like ubiquitous. This is ridiculous. Busting violence off of my head, so I'm covering the blood. Honest to God, I think nowadays it's so normal and fun. I'll make you wish your precious daughters were turning in us. Should I die? See my life flashing right before my eyes, maybe die. My hair blind, the guy idolized, never cared about. Constantly being hated, criticized, and while I'm Marshall Mathers, he's forever my favorite. And why do I feel and relate to everything he is saying? Just feel like you're hating no matter what you try to do. Being caught up with a lame or retarded too. Well, I studied the legends, even laminated the lessons. So the powers over the years are in my possession. I don't care for random and do not get caught up in phantom. Spitting all the cowards, the sweet and the candy and flowers. While I stay in the dark like I did for 96 hours, you never see me losing. That will never be an illusion. I ain't no confusion. Never like I'm turning in human. Like a wolf in the snow, I prefer to walk alone. Possessive visionless, how do my thoughts avert to my listeners? Need to be chilling before I stop becoming a villain. You never see me chilling. I pray that I'm losing my vision. You think that I'm kidding? Well, you don't have a pot to piss it. Listen to the sound of my neck as it's twisting around. Listen to the sounds of the towns that they burn to the ground. Listen to the screams of the kids seeing blood on the ground. And have a rap singing noise trying to water it down. You, I stay dirty until I retire my jersey. I'm only 21 to be wild and vile at 30. Whew. Okay, and so now I did that. And what am I gonna do now? Oh yeah. So I'm gonna play that one rap one more time. I did kind of mess up anyway, so thank you, Steve. Whew. A lot of practice over the years. All right, I'm gonna do one more. All right. Skywalker. I got DNA that's deoxyribonucleic acid. I'm a renegade with a pen that disintegrates you into ashes. My definitions are concise, like a Webster's dictionary. Don't need a fight, cause I already have 1,000 swords in my library. The way I cope is killing dopes like the Springfield Isotopes, hitting home runs like on Reyes from the Cleveland Indians. Oh my God, the peace of police are busting down my door again, but I do not give a damn because I'm unapologetic, and you find me apprehensive going to the comment section. So, you know, like a daisical, unoriginal, call the hospital. I'm going mental because everyone says I'm too disrespectful. Yes, I know that it's quite a mouthful. I'd be the biggest heel of the business if I just knew how to rest. A manager like Cornette did with the Rock and Roll Express, hitting you in the face with big boots like I'm Andrew Martin Test. I am not one of the best, but I'm working to earn a reputation. Are you doing? Can I hate this song? Will you please just change the station? I would rather play Tomb Raider on the very first PlayStation. Wait a minute, Chris. Keep it formal. Stop talking about keep it formal. Stop talking about her head Chris, keep it formal. Stop talking about her huge pectorals. But oh my God, those polygons make me spontaneously combust. Including the and a catcher. I want to hit it, straight up stick it. Damn so wicked. I'm not playing games. I'm learning about old airplanes. I'm playing with toy trains. What has happened to my brain? Excruciating, exacerbating. Hearing all this exaggeration about me being so egregious, you would think I'm controlled by demons. Maybe I'm one of Reagan's lossies who was in that room. Cold as Mr. Freeze, the 20 years. Put me on a doorstep. You can probably guess what happened. This lays up on my father's neck, and then I put a tape in the. Dang it! Shoot! Swing and a miss. And I think I was just doing good the first time, but then I all of a sudden just completely started screwing up. So I guess what I'm going to do now, instead of trying to rap again, I'll just break down the lyrics and I'll tell you what I think, kind of like Rap Genius does. All right, so I got DNA, and that's deoxyribonucleic acid. Of course, this is a play on with Kendrick Lamar's DNA, because that's the title of the song, DNA, and DNA in full, outside the abbreviation, is, of course, deoxyribonucleic acid. The only thing I didn't know about DNA, like the full term, deoxyribonucleic acid, is that it's not dioxy, it's deoxy, DE. I thought it was DI for some reason. My definitions are concise like a Webster's dictionary. I came up with that because I have a Webster's dictionary, and it says here, the clearest, most concise definitions. So, most concise, like a Webster's dictionary. Because I already have 1,000 swords in my library. So I've been getting into the Wu-Tang Clan, and one of the albums that the GZA, the Genius, made was an album called Liquid Swords. And he said that the album Liquid Swords, the reason why it's called that is because the tongue is symbolic to the sword. So that's where I got that from. So when I say I have 1,000 swords in my library, meaning like I have like a lot of rhymes to come up with, and with a lot of rhymes, I got a lot of swords. The way I cope is killing dopes like the Springfield Isotopes. It's just an interesting, play on words. A little something I thought was just sounding funny to rhyme with, because killing dopes like the Springfield Isotopes, because the Springfield Isotopes, of course, are the team on The Simpsons, from the Simpsons universe, and they're not very good. They seem to always lose. So that's basically what I'm doing. Hitting home runs like I'm Reyes from the Cleveland Indians. There was a baseball game a while back, the Cleveland Indians versus the Oakland Athletics. So, and Reyes, he hit a home run, and it got 437 feet in the air, and it got right into it went right through a window. It didn't luckily break it though, because the window was open. Luckily, because obviously, if Reyes, hit it and the window wasn't open, oh yeah, that would have definitely smashed it. Oh my God, the PC police are busting down my door again. Obviously, because I said Cleveland Indians, not their new name, Cleveland Guardians. Which, if you want to know my thoughts about it, I don't think it's, at least, I do think it's dumb. I do believe that it's erasing history. However, if you look at history in general, that's kind of something that's always been happening. Think about the Civil Rights Movement. The Civil Rights Movement was already, wanting to take down things like Aunt Jemima. And there's even a review from the 1940s by the NAACP that was saying how racist and offensive the movie Song of the South was. So this is not really something new. Yeah, and look, Steve, I'm not saying by any means this is a good thing. I do think it's ignorant. Just like I think that it's ignorant, for example, that, okay, you got rid of the Washington Redskins, but yet it's like how ironic. They get rid of the Redskins name, but they keep Washington because it's the state, but it's also the state that's called Washington because of our first president, George Washington, who was, yeah, our first president, but he also owned slaves. So, so, okay, yeah, anyways, but yeah, uh, by no means am I saying that what is happening is good. I think it's ignorant. And I think that in many ways, especially when you think about, for example, like the Columbus statue. In fact, I'm even going to type this to you, Steve. Anyways, so continuing with that, so yeah, of course, the PC police, as if like just because I said Cleveland Indians, that they would bust down my door. But I do not give a damn because I'm unapologetic. If you find me apprehensive, go into the comments section. Yeah. And nobody talks about it, though. Nobody seems to talk about it. The only people that talked about it just for a minute was Andrew Scholes. And I'm sorry if I messed up his name. Akash, however you pronounce it. Nobody ever explained it. Not Fox News, not not Fox News, not CNN. Nobody, no top news channels cover this. If you find me apprehensive, go into the comment section. Yeah, that's where I was at. So obviously I've been getting a good amount of subscribers. I got about 90 subscribers right now. In fact, I'm even going to shout them out. Thank you to all 90 subscribers. In fact, it's no longer 90, it's 92. So thank you to all the 92 subscribers to my channel. You guys are awesome. Really appreciate it. But of course, with everyone that likes my content, there are always going to be some people that just want to, just want to hate, just want to say that my videos suck and I'm lazy or lackadaisical. I'm unoriginal. Call the hospital. I'm going mental. Because also a lot of people think that I'm crazy. So it's like people think I'm lazy and or that I'm crazy. I'm not mentally well. So that's why I said call the hospital. I'm going mental. Like somebody get the mental hospital people and put me in the straitjacket, basically. Because everyone says I'm too disrespectful. which I think is so ironic because of the channels that I'm, because of like the people that I hang out with in the YouTube world. Their whole motto is all about being unapologetic. Their whole fan base is supposed to be like, we don't care about the PC police, if you, we'll say whatever we want. And yet some of them end up becoming the biggest snowflakes. And I said some, not all. All right, I'm part of the JCS Army for life. Okay, I respect all you guys. I'm just saying, if you're gonna go ahead and talk about being unapologetic, hey, I'm all for it, man. That's what I like. I like that type of comedy. I like the type of discussions. But you can't, go ahead and just say like, yeah, no pussies allowed, but then immediately start hating on me because I don't know. Because I try to make jokes and apparently mine aren't funny or mine go too far, even though that's all besides the point. Yes, I know that is quite a mouthful. I'd be the biggest heel in the business if I just knew how to wrestle. Again, just sort of continuing with how everybody thinks that not everybody, but there are definitely a few people out there that think that I'm such a bad guy. I'm such a bad guy, bad kid, whatever. And of course, as a wrestling fan, I just pictured that as me being like a villain in wrestling. With the amount of buzz that I get sometimes, I could probably, if I knew how to wrestle, maybe I would become the biggest heel. Maybe I would get a lot of hate. Or a manager like Cornette did with the Rock and Roll Express, or become a manager and get heat from that too. Just saying like off the wall things about like specific tag teams, like Cornette did when he was part of the Rock and Roll Express or the Heavenly Bodies. Oh, and of course, it also helps to, include Cornette in there because so hitting you in the face with big boots, which I almost didn't want to say that line because I don't know if going back to that, it sounds like I'm saying big boobs. But I tried hitting you in the face with big boots like Andrew Martin Test. Of course, Test was very famous for doing the big boot because he was such a tall guy. And of course, rest in peace to Test. So I'm going to give a shout out to him from beyond the grave. I am not one of the best, but I'm working to earn that reputation. What are you doing, Kim? I hate this song. Will you please just change the station? Um, hmm. Obviously, the first part is me trying to be humble. Um, because I am not one of the best when it comes to rapping. I mean, yeah, I've listened to it for quite a long time, ever since I was a little kid, but I don't have like the skills of an Eminem or a Tupac or a Biggie or like the big guys. But But as far as mumble rappers, oh, I'm better than all of those guys. I am way better than all those guys. But when it comes to legendary rappers and even some YouTube rappers that don't, of course, mumble and stuff, those are people I respect. And I'm like, nope, I have yet to even get to their level. And even then, I respect them. You know what I mean? And of course, what are you doing, Kim? I hate this song. Will you please just change the station? I think I don't know what I was thinking when I made that one. I think I just wanted to, make a reference to the Eminem song Kim, because there was one part in the song where Eminem was saying, what are you doing, Kim? Change the station. I hate this song. Because he finally lost it, and he, of course, kidnapped Kim, and he's, just making her do all this stuff, getting angry because the song that is playing on the radio is not what he wants to listen to. Or you could also say that it's not only a reference, it's also just, again, me just kind of sticking it to the haters again. People don't like my music. I would rather play Tomb Raider on the very first PlayStation. Wait a minute, Chris. Keep it formal. Stop drooling about her huge pectorals. I have not really played the Tomb Raider games. I just thought that it would rhyme better. I just thought it sounded like a funny and kind of clever line. So that's why I decided to just say I'd rather play Tomb Raider on the very first PlayStation. And this is like my conscience saying, wait a minute, Chris, keep it formal. Stop drilling about her huge pectorals or breasts. But I figured, because I'm all about trying to expand my vocabulary, instead of just immediately saying breasts, because that wouldn't rhyme, I just say her huge pectorals. So, stop drilling about her huge pectorals, because her... And then that goes along with, but oh my God, those polygons make me spontaneously combust. I think we all know. I'm pretty sure that a lot of people. Anyways, including Anna Kendrick, I want to hit it, straight up stick it. Damn, this rhyme is so freaking wicked. I love playing James and learn much more about preparing old. Yeah, I don't know where yeah. Sometimes I'll get to those moments where I think, yeah, this rhymes, this sounds good. But then I start, rhyming it again, to myself. And then it's like, so close. So Anna Kendrick is another woman that I certainly have a huge crush on, and this is, of course, me just saying I want to hit it, straight up stick it. This rhyme is so freaking wicked. So that's just basically me just talking about how hot she is. I love playing James. Learn much more about repairing old air. I love playing James, and I love playing James. Learning more about repairing. Oh, right. I love playing James and learning more about repairing old airplanes. And it just sounded, it's obviously random, but I just thought it would be funny to, like, once I say I love playing James, and then talk about repairing airplanes, and then say while I'm playing with toy trains, to, again, just show how, I'm just, like, kind of out of the ordinary. I don't really say everything that all other rappers say. When's the last time that you heard about a rapper saying you like learning about repairing old airplanes? And of course, I love playing James. There's that. slang term, plain Jane, meaning a woman that isn't really, she isn't really like, she isn't really like smoking hot. She's just cute, and she just doesn't really have like she doesn't really have a whole lot to she's not a whole lot to the imagination. I'm sorry, I just can't stop thinking about that. She isn't a whole lot to the imagination, what I'm trying to say. And she's not like overtly sexual. For some reason, that's just what I find. I honestly find that a lot more attractive than I do in like a supermodel like woman, especially when if she has like a sense of humor. Like if she's a plain Jane and she's really boring and doesn't and is not really nerdy like me, then then that's when I'm not really into it. What has happened to my brain? Again, because not a whole lot of rappers would talk about repairing old airplanes while I'm playing with toy trains. It's excruciating, exacerbating, hearing all this exaggeration about me being so egregious you would think I'm controlled by demons. Because, there are just definitely some people out there that don't like me and think that I'm way too random and sometimes can be egregious, sometimes can be too weird. So, Controlled by Demons is a reference to, again, GZA's album Liquid Swords, because in the beginning, like a lot of the Wu-Tang Clan's albums, as they were inspired by the karate movies of, the Wu-Tang, where they got their name from, there's this little girl that's talking in the beginning and says how her, like, one of the masters or something was said to have been possessed by devils. So that's just, just being kind of referencing that. Maybe I am one of Reagan's lost seeds. Who was in that room? Maybe I am one of Reagan's lost seeds. Who was in that room? Cold as Mr. Freeze. Reagan from The Exorcist, who was obviously the little girl who was possessed by demons, and not only was she possessed, but I'm basically trying to say that I was like, I don't know why, I don't know if I was trying to say who was in that room, cold as Mr. Freeze. So I guess, even though this is pretty dark, I guess I'm trying to say that I am one of Reagan's lost seeds. Like, yeah, kind of like Rosemary's Baby. She had literally a demon child. So I am one of Reagan's lost seeds. So I was in that room / that demon child in that super cold room as they were trying to, compel her. Cold as Mr. Freeze, super cold. And it was very, very cold. Shooting that scene back in the day. Then 20 years later, put me on a doorstep. You can probably guess what happened next. So I go from just talking random to kind of telling a little bit of a story that she put me on a doorstep, and you could probably guess what happened next. So I basically went crazy, killed the father, put a tape in the deck, and because of my mother, I was she could my neck twist, and then she eventually had cardiac arrest. As I listened to Night on the Bear Mountain, which also is known as Night on Bald Mountain, which is from the movie Fantasia, and talks about the basically the story of Halloween, and how Halloween is when all the spirits come and all evil, all destruction, and it just shows like this huge demon that symbolizes hell itself, and he has like all these demons, and he literally just as they just come and just for him to crush them, and he loves it. He loves just every bit of the destruction and the fire. But in the end though, you hear church bells, and he gets scared. And just when he's trying to rain more destruction, the church bells continue to shrink him back into a mountain, because he was a mountain, and then on Hallows Eve, he becomes a demon. I'm more anomalous than Knievel. I mean, Knievel is by no means a normal person. He's pretty crazy. I mean, have you seen the stunts? I haven't really seen the stunts, but I know that he is a famous daredevil. Can't wait to show you all the sequel. I mean, maybe I might come up with another one, hence why I said wait for the sequel. And that's also a reference to Bad Meets Evil from the Slim Shady LP, which they would eventually make Bad Meets Evil Welcome to Hell, the sequel, in 2011. Just a little tidbit for you. Now, this is my other one called PTSD, because it's a reference to my post-traumatic stress disorder. Because some of this, well, it's obviously very much it's just a rap, and it's just me it also is me just kind of getting some of my anger out. As far as mistakes, well, obviously I'll never forget them or even regret them, especially all because of my Venom. The symbiote from the Venom movies and or just Venom in general, it obviously makes you do a lot of crazy things, just like it did to Tom Hardy in the Venom movies. So obviously when you're controlled by Venom, you don't really apologize for anything. You don't regret anything, because you're controlled by this alien life form that's taken over you. You think I'm soft to the next 9-year-old line in the chalk. Again, another reference to the symbiote, because I want to chop your head right off, because that's what the symbiotes do. They just chop your head right off. Because really, I got nothing to... I'm covered in wounds. Somebody get the salt and the noose and stab in my bruise, because really, I got nothing to lose. This is me just kind of referencing just everything that's been going on as of late. Whether it's me not being able to see for 4 days, and then, going to the hospital and then the clinic, and my cousin's missing. He's been missing for 2 weeks now, and well, now it's been longer, maybe 15, 16 days, and we still have yet to find him. So just a lot of stuff has been going on. My aunt also passed, so somebody get this. I'm covered in wounds. Somebody get the salt. salt in the wound. Hurts a lot. And so it's just kind of me just saying, like, at this point, I don't really, even though, like, I would never actually put salt in the wound or actually, get a noose or whatever. It's just basically just me just kind of throwing out my depression out there, but also anger at just how everything is just not good. And stabbing my bruise. I got a bruise because I fell and I just hit really hard. I don't know how it really happened, but it it's certainly it's certainly one of the biggest ones that I got. So I'll just anyways, so yeah, this is basically me just saying, like, bring it on, bring everything. It's really, I got nothing to lose, especially, with everything that's been happening. So I'm just saying, like, whatever troubles coming my way, just bring it. Let's go. So if you're wondering why I'm online screaming at you, because my mental problems are ubiquitous, it's ridiculous. Um, there have definitely been some moments where I just kind of flipped out and I just wanted to scream. Um, because of, like, all my mental problems, which cause, like, emotional outbursts and ubiquitous. So, and they're ubiquitous, meaning, like, it just seems like they're constant. They're ever, like, there's so many. They're almost everlasting. It's ridiculous. Like, I can't believe it. Busting bowels over my head till I'm covered in blood. Honest to God, nowadays it's so normal to fun. Again, something I wouldn't do. Just me kind of exaggerating about, my anger and how, I don't know. At this, there though, it is interesting, how sometimes even when I do get hurt, I don't really react in, like, the same way everybody else does. Just kind of walk it off. So, and of course, Eminem also did a lyric similar to this, where he said, "Bust a bottle with my bare hands and swallow it, and spit it back in the faces, you racists and hypocrites." Which, again, obviously, would he actually bust a bottle over his bare hands and swallow it? No, that would kill him. I'll make you wish that your precious stars were turned into nuns. Again, if I'm so crazy, then I'll be even crazier, even though a lot of my craziness is like the equivalent of Professor Chaos for any of you South Park fans out there. And I wouldn't even probably do that. I wouldn't even, like, switch soup orders at Bennigan's. That's how soft I am as far as a villain. Let's see what you think of me. Anyways. Should I die, see my life flashing right before my eyes, or maybe die, my hair blonde like the guy I idolize, and never care about constantly being hated, criticized? I mean, some of them, granted, have said that they were just joking, but I know there's one person whose name I will not mention, who definitely made it perfectly clear. They definitely don't care if I live. So that kind of goes along with that question. And then, of course, die and then die. Because I have wondered, what would it be like if I dyed my hair blonde? I mean, I am a big fan of Eminem. And of course, never care about constantly being hated, criticized. Because even though I don't care about constantly being hated or criticized, or I don't really care about it that much, I definitely don't have, like, I have thick skin, but I also have my limit. Not even really when it comes to, like, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird to think about. No, I'm not Marshall Mathers. He's forever my favorite. And why do I feel relate to everything he's saying? Because, I mean, hey, the complexion, the lyrics, and even some of the things that go on at home, it's pretty easy easy for a white kid to go ahead and just immediately get that Eminem label thrown at them. You know what I mean? So I can only imagine, how some people in the comment section would be like, oh, there's another Eminem again. Some of my parents have said something similar to that. Uh, just feel like you're hating no matter what you try to do. Again, person I will not mention was a good friend of mine. I still wish nothing but the best, with the best for her. But it seems like it didn't matter what I tried to do in order to be friendly and kind and caring. She just wouldn't. She just couldn't stand me, and it hurts a little bit more because she spoke to me way back when I was feeling like really lost and depressed. So to see that immediately change, it's kind of heartbreaking. But, you know. Being called awkward or gay or retarded too. Those are just some of the things that I've been called over the years. And I'm okay with jokes when you're just hating, just I'm all about jokes, no matter even if they come off as offensive to others, or even what should technically, be make me offended. I don't really care. I find them all funny. It's only when you're just being a jerk and you're just saying it, just saying things just to say them. Then it's like you're not politically correct. You're just a jerk. You're not funny. I know politically incorrect comedy, which is the funniest, which I like to call it the funniest comedy. But no, you're just being an a-hole. Well, I studied the legends, even laminated the lessons. I don't know why I said laminated the lessons, other than it just rhymed a little bit. But that just goes along with how long I've been listening to hip hop and rap. So their powers over the years are in my possession, as if Eminem and Tupac and Rakim and Biggie and Ice Cube and just like all these guys that I've listened to for so long, they really are like I have all their powers, all their lyrical ability. I don't care if I'm random and do not get caught up in fandom. I do not get caught up in really anything that's trending a whole lot. Especially when it's like uh, Uh, and do not get caught up in fandom. It's as simple as that. There are definitely some obsessed fans out there that want to complain about everything. Want to complain about Batman v Superman, or I don't know. It's a lot of things, or what's going on right now. People, that were so offended because somebody called Eddie Guerrero a B+ player. I don't know about you, but I know Eddie doesn't need my help in order to show that he's obviously not. His history of itself shows. And besides, it's their dumb opinion. They can think however they want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Again, that just goes along with, you're okay, be unapologetic. Don't care what anybody says. But then you immediately backtrack because somebody's talking about your favorite wrestler. Unless they're truly saying something terrible, and even then, it's like they're just jealous. That guy's probably just jealous. And maybe Don Tony's right. Maybe he wasn't even around when Eddie Guerrero was like world heavyweight champ. Was like world heavyweight champion. No, wait, no, he wasn't world heavyweight champion. No, wait, remember? Yeah, but the point is, when he was world champion, probably wasn't even around yet, or maybe he was. I don't know. The point is, he think however he wants to think. I don't really care. You guys can go ahead and say whatever you want about him. The guy who said that tweet or whatever. But at the end of the day, just remember, you're just giving him more attention. I'm just saying. Spinning all the cows are sweeter than the candy and flowers. Again, just showing how, just kind of letting out some of my anger. Some of the people that just want to go ahead and say, oh, I'm this, I'm that, but then they don't want to really back it up. They want to really, go ahead and say how they really feel. Or they want to go and say how they really feel, but they just would also tuck their tail between their legs. Sweeter than candy and flowers. They're soft. And this is coming from somebody who's pretty soft myself, but even I know how to stand up and be real with somebody while staying in the dark like I did for 96 hours. Reference to The Dark Knight Rises. Bane had that classic line, "You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it." Stay in the dark. You never really want to come across somebody who just stays in the dark, right? And that's literally what I was for 4 days. You never see me losing, and that will never be an illusion. I have no confusion. I feel like I'm turning inhuman. I'm always gonna, just keep doing my thing. And I have no confusion about it, other than just keep doing what I'm doing. I feel like I'm turning inhuman. That's just going along with. Well, for one thing, it's sometimes just hard to get everything out. Go ahead and say some things. Sometimes I can get really angry. And I feel like, like I'm. And when you're in the dark for a long period of time, you eventually start to lose this bit of sanity. Now, obviously, as you can tell, I'm not insane. It's also kind of just an exaggeration, but lockdown can do a whole lot to change somebody. Like a wolf in the snow, I prefer to walk all alone. Wolves usually don't hunt in packs. hence the term lone wolf. So like a wolf in the snow, I prefer to walk alone. I don't know why I said a wolf in the snow other than I just thought I rhymed good. But yeah, usually a wolf just kind of walks in the snow with no pack and just waits for whoever's going to step to him. Possessed with viciousness, how do my thoughts revert to maliciousness? Need to be chilling before I start becoming a villain. Before I start becoming a villain is, of course, another Dark Knight. Is a Dark Knight reference. Because Harvey Dent talks about how you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become a villain. Somewhere along those lines. That's what he said. Possessed with viciousness, how do my thoughts revert to maliciousness? Again, I just thought it rhymed pretty good, but it was also like, how did my thoughts, become even more angrier, more just diabolical, like busting balls over my head so I'm covered in blood. Like, how did that happen? That's kind of what I'm saying right now in this. You think that I'm kidding when you don't have a pot to piss in. You think that because I said I prayed that I lose all my vision, because I'm losing my vision. And it's getting more and more frustrating to 1 minute I can see like these words just fine, and then the other they get blurry again. I'm nearsighted right now. As we speak, I'm nearsighted. I can see what I'm saying, what is being said right now, but it's still blurry. There's lines. It's like I could see like imaginary lines over it. So, just like let the madness end. Like, you don't really have a say in it. You can't really say something when you're not going through what I'm going through. You don't have a pot to piss. Listen to the sound of my neck as it's twisting around. Listen to the sounds of the towns as they burn to the ground. Listen to the screams of the kids seeing blood on the ground. I wish I knew another way to say something beyond ground, but I couldn't, and I just ended up rhyming ground with ground. But at least I kind of switched it. But this is all just a reference to the Eminem Soldier song itself, where it's all about listen to the sound of Kim as she licks on a where Eminem just kind of starts going, just saying, listen to the sounds of, and then starts saying, listen, then starts talking about, these things that you should listen to the sounds of. And I just thought it sounded cool. And just kind of just going around, just showing like, how dark, some of my thoughts can be. And just like, what I think. The hell with Rap's A&Rs try to water it down. Wu-Tang Clan reference, specifically from the song Protect Your Neck. GZA, the genius, ends up talking about Rap's A&Rs. And one of the lines he ends up saying, first of all, who's your A&R? A mountain climber who plays an electric guitar? Because these are usually people who have no idea what they're doing. They don't really have any sort of experience within the rap world, but all they know is wanting to try to find something that makes money and is as clean as they possibly can get. And when you, of course, you have those A&Rs, they try to water it down. They try to make things more pop influenced, more family friendly to make money. I'll stay dirty until I retire my jersey. I'm only 21, so I'll be violent and wild till I'm 30. Full of controversy until I retire my jersey, till the fire dies inside me. Full of controversy until I retire my jersey, till the fire dies inside and expires at 30. Again, that's just another reference to what Eminem was saying in the rap Soldier, and he was 28 when the Eminem Show album came out. When he was doing that, he was 28 and of course, 2 years later, he'd come out with Encore, and that's when a lot of people kind of didn't want Eminem to come back. So it's almost as if he predicted when his career would kind of just take a big big drop in quality. And although I don't think you can say that he never recovered, because Kamikaze did pretty well. The only two albums that didn't really pan out so well was, of course, Encore, then Relapse, and Revival. But Recovery and the Marshall Mathers LP 2, they seem to do pretty well, and of course Kamikaze. So